say that it's impossible to ever save a sinner's soul, but my God says to the prodigal, my beloved one, you're welcome home. Oh, your mercy triumphs over judgment. Love wider than horizons, stronger than all sin. Lord, your kindness leads us to repentance, to the heart of God. Your heart, oh God, is all I want. Oh, to Jesus I surrender. Oh, to Him I freely give. I will ever love and trust.
Hey, well, good evening to you. Oh, let me try that again. Good evening to you. Really is great to see you tonight. Can I give you a really warm welcome to Lakeside Church for what is a really special evening for us here, as we've got our special guest and our Alpha launch night tonight. So it's great that you're here. We're absolutely delighted that you've been able to come along and just spend this time with us. My name's Richard. I have the privilege of leading the work here at Lakeside, amongst the most amazing people. So we're delighted that you're here with us tonight. Let me just tell you a little bit about how the night's going to pan out. We're going to sing a couple of songs to begin with, just talk a little bit about the things that we believe as Christians. Now, you might not be used to singing songs in church. You might think, I'm not really too sure about that, and that's absolutely fine. The words are going to come up on the screen. If you're not used to kind of being in church, that's fine. It's a little bit like karaoke, okay, but you don't have to join in. There's not going to be a little ball that goes over the words just to tell you when to sing them, but they're really easy to pick up. They're songs that are full of life, songs that are full of joy, and we'd love you to be able to join in if you want to, but if you're not too sure, feel free just to mime or just sit back and just listen to the band. The band are more than able to lead us in those. So we're just going to have a couple of those, and then we've got a testimony from someone who's going to talk a little bit about the change that happened in her life earlier on last year. And then we're going to invite our special guest, Bobby Ball. Let's just welcome Bobby, shall we? We're delighted to have him. And great to have Bobby and Yvonne, who's over there with the merchandise. And let's give Yvonne a welcome, and then also Denny, who's one of their friends as well, with them tonight. So you're going to hear a little bit more from Bobby, obviously, later on. But we're absolutely delighted that you're here. And one of the things that we love to do here at Lakeside is just make sure that everyone feels really welcome. You might be in church and you might be thinking, I'm a little bit unsure, I'm not sure how it's going to go, and it can be a little bit tense, almost like the start of a wedding. People are sitting there and you might not know the person sitting next to you, but we love everyone to feel welcome. And so what I'm going to ask you to do, the band are just going to keep playing these chords for a few moments. Don't get out of your seat, but why don't you just turn around, just say hello to the person sitting next to you. It might be your spouse. You may have had such a busy day you haven't had a chance to say hello yet, but we want everyone to feel welcome here. That's great. That's great. Hopefully you've all had at least one handshake or a high five or a smile from at least one other person. I don't know if you're comfortable with this, and there's certainly no obligation for you to do it, but normally when we come and we meet here and we sing these songs, we like to stand. No one's listening now. Just give me a wave if you're listening. If you feel comfortable, stand with us. As I say, the words will come up on the screen. If you feel more comfortable sitting, that's absolutely fine. You might see some people with their hands in the air. That's just a sign of surrender. If you've been to a football match and you've seen the fans there supporting their team, but we just do that because we love God and we love Jesus, and it's just something that we sometimes do. So don't be put off by that. But why don't we start by standing, as I say, like if you feel comfortable, feel free to sit down at any time. And the band are going to lead us in a couple of songs.
Rolling,
Welcome to church. This is what we do. We love to sing songs to the God who we believe is for us, is not against us. Just like the song said, we've heard many stories of what God is like, and we all have different understandings and impressions and thoughts about what God is like, but we have come to that place where we believe that He's good and that He's for us and that He loves us. And that's not just true for me or the guys up on the platform. That's true for every single one of us, that He loves you tonight. And that's the hope that we have. Thank you so much for joining in with us. Would you please take your seats? Let's just show some appreciation to the band, shall we, for leading us so well. They're going to come back up right at the very end, just as we draw our time together to a close, and we're going to sing that song again that we sang right at the start, We Believe, and we'll draw our time together to a close with that. But I said before, just a few moments before we sang those songs, that we're going to hear from someone. Obviously, Bobby is going to come and share his life story with us, but we thought it would be really good, because this is the launch of the Alpha course that starts next week. You might be here tonight and you're thinking, well, what is Alpha? I've heard about it, I've seen posters advertising and all these kind of things, but what is it like? And we thought it'd be really good if we got two of our team, John, who's one of our leaders on the Alpha course, a member of the church, and then also Ping, who's part of the church. But Ping came through the course last year, and they're going to just have a little bit of a chat together and just share something of Ping's story with us. So would you welcome John and Ping as they come and do this?
Yeah, now this is the wonderful Ping, and they look friendly. We're okay. We're okay. So Ping came on one of our Alpha courses last year, and I'm just going to ask her to tell you a bit about her experience on the Alpha course. So Ping, how did you get on Alpha?
Well, I did the Alpha course exactly 1 year ago. Looking back this 1 year, a lot of things happened in my life. But most important things happened spiritually, and I have been baptized, and I become a Christian. Well, this Alpha course is a turning point, because previously I know nothing about God, and through Alpha course, I've known a lot of people, the wonderful people. Also, Alpha course is also the beginning of my spiritual journey. So.
Yeah, wonderful. Wonderful.
So a lot of people ask me, why did you do Alpha course? Well, I think there are two reasons for me to do this course. The most important thing, and the major reason for me to do the course, is because the encouragement from my husband. To be honest, to just start with, I was not sure about it at all. I thought, all my life, I didn't know Jesus. Why, at this point, I want to know Him? I know I'm not perfect, but nobody's perfect. I'm all right. I even did a Google search, and I'm trying to find out whether Jesus really existed. Well, and then, I was not sure about it. I still remember my husband at the beginning of this course and what he said to me. And he said, well, you just give it a try with an open heart. And then in the end, if you decided you want to follow Jesus, that's great. But if you feel in the end, you said, well, this is not for me, that's fine. And he says, well, the course is free. The meal is free. You got nothing to lose. Well, there's another reason why I want to get on the course, because I was curious. And I thought, why? In the Bible, it's the best-selling book all the time. And I want to find out why, what makes Jesus, the big celebrity for over 2,000 years. I was quite lucky to have wonderful teachers, Alpha teachers, Maureen and Richard. They embraced me with their open arms. They make me feel part of the family. So I started the course, and then I started to read God's words as well. And I was overwhelmed by God's love and God's wisdom. And Jesus says, nothing in life comes by accident, by chance. And I believe that's true. Jesus, he knows at that time I was having some difficulties in life. And especially last year in May, my husband, he was diagnosed with stage 4 cancer. And you can imagine, I was very stressed, and I was worried, and I was fearful. Because Paul, he's my husband, he's also my best friend. And I felt that because it's a diagnosis, and my role in life also changed as well. I'm his wife, and I also become his carer. And I was not ready, I'm not prepared for it. So I could, feel that Satan, my enemy, visited me without being invited. He whispered to my ear saying, your enemy is too big. You're not gonna cope with it. So I could, picture that. I've been pushed to the front line with Paul, hand in hand. We are facing this monstrous giant, the cancer. So life was hard. So it was really, really difficult. So God come to my heart. His timing is perfect. So
You're doing a great job, Ping. Thank you. I'm just going to ask you while you just gather yourself, just to...
well,
yeah, okay.
I want to
You're
say
keep
something.
Going. Yeah, please do.
So I think following Jesus, it doesn't mean life will be easy. He's not going to get me out of the difficulties, but he will help me to get through it. So one day, about 2 months ago, one Sunday morning, I remember I was on my own, and all of a sudden, I heard this voice, and it's very deep and a powerful fatherly voice coming to me, saying to me, you got to be strong, you can push through it. And I look around, I couldn't find anybody. And the same morning, I went to Christchurch, and all of a sudden, I saw on the wall, there's a verse of the year, and it's 1 Corinthians. It says, be on your guard, be strong, be courageous. I believe that's the message from God to me. So, well, what I want to say is, I read the Bible, and it said a woman in Bible 2,000 years ago, he went to the well to get some water. She is from a despised group. Even from her own group, she's been ostracized because she married 5 times. Also, she was living with a man, another man. And then God was waiting for her at the well. He knows when he talked to her, her life will be changed, and the rest will be history. I believe, God wants to intervene in our journey in so many different ways. He wants to give us guidance, give us advice. So my husband often say, I'm very stubborn, and especially when I upset him. So if God can change a stubborn person like me, I'm sure he can change anybody.
Thank you, Ben. Give her a round of applause. I've just hold that. I'm just going to Ping. Sorry, just a couple of things. Did you enjoy the Alpha course itself, the talks?
Oh, I did.
Yeah.
Yes,
yeah.
It's really good.
Yeah, and you heard the video presentations, and that was good.
Yes, I really enjoyed watching the video. Yeah. I also enjoyed the discussion as well.
You were able to ask lots of questions.
I was able to ask a lot of questions. I didn't feel being judged. They're really very patient with me and very helpful. I'm very, very grateful.
Good. That's great. Let's give Ping a big round of applause. Thank you.
Thank you.
Wow, wasn't that a fantastic testimony there from Ping? Let me just bring these up here. I don't know what it was like for you in your childhood, the kind of things that you used to watch on the television, but I remember there's a lad who was born in 1970 and growing up on Saturday night television and all those things as a family. We'd sit around the television and a little bit like it is now with some of the programs that you get. You've got the Saturday night comedy TV and all those things. And for me, one of the names that I grew up with was a certain Cannonball. Does anyone know what I'm talking about when I say that? And then even now there's other programs on the telly that star Bobby. And so it's just an absolute joy for us here, not only for me personally, but for us here at Lakeside to welcome our special guest this evening. It's a name that is so well known to us, which is the reason why we're here tonight. And we're really looking forward to hearing Bobby over this next 50 minutes or so just come and share his story with us. So all I would ask is that you just give him the absolute very best of your attention, which I'm sure you will. I know it's warm in here. We've got one of the doors open. We can open another one a little bit later on if you want. But we really want you to listen carefully, because what he's going to share with us is something that has the potential to be so life-transforming and so life-changing. So he's got a whole lot of merchandise over there, which he said that he will happily sign for people afterwards as well. He's looking at me now thinking, I didn't say that. You're right, you didn't say it, but Yvonne said it. And I know if it's anything like you, like if my wife says that you're going to do it, I just do it. So, folks, would you give Bobby Ball a huge welcome as he comes to share with us?
Thank you. Thank you. Stop the music. Now, ladies and gentlemen, what a wonderful welcome. That was absolutely fantastic. But usually, I do get a little bit more than that. So I'm going to get off, come back up, and want you screaming and shouting. Ladies and gentlemen, Bobby Ball! Got the music. That was fantastic. Now, that was good enough for me. Let's hear some applause for Jesus. Come on, that's what we're here for. Come on. Absolutely brilliant. I'm going to tell you a bit about my life and stuff that's happened in it and so on and so on. Yvonne, can you just come down here a minute, love? Try to do it today because people are watching. This is my wife. She appears a lot in my story. Come on, love. Say hello to people. Go and get the book sold. We've been together 46 years. Anyway, let me get my glasses on. It's absolutely fantastic. I was driving here tonight to Southport, and I've got one of these satellite a sat-navs, you know what I mean? Well, because we're here, that means a satellite navigator. You won't have any here. And as I got outside Southport, it said, keep going. I found it funnier than that. Anyway, but coming here, I love this, coming and talking about God. I'm still with Tommy, if you're all wondering. I still work with Tommy. We're doing a tour and we're doing the pantomimes and bits and bats. I can't leave him, ladies and gentlemen, otherwise he'd have to go in an old folks' home. And I can't allow that. And I love your dress, you look like an hanging basket. Anyway, I'll tell you what, sir, you don't get many laughter lines, do you? No, not with this act. Anyway, coming here tonight, I saw a fella at the side of the road and he was sat there just crying. And, I felt for him, ladies and gentlemen, just crying. And I said, you all right, mate? He said, not really. I said, what's wrong? He said, well, I've got a big house, he said. And I'm a millionaire. He said, I've got a beautiful house and everything. I said, why are you crying? He said, I'm lost. Anyway, are you enjoying this? Can you tell your face? Okay. Don't laugh. Don't you throw me by laughing. Don't you throw me by laughing. And get your hair cut. Anyway. So I, ladies and gentlemen, come from a very beautiful little place in Lancashire called Oldham. You what, love? Oh, now you start tackling me, do you? Whereabouts in Oldham you from? Springhead and Merseyside. Do you know they're pulling it down and putting slums up? No, I'm telling you. That's a rough place, that is, Oldham, blimey. I think Jesus missed that. When I meet him, when I'm dead, I'm going to say, get to Oldham quickly. Anyway, I come from Oldham, ladies and gentlemen, and I come from a very, very poor family. No, it's poorer than that. All right. Hello, love, you're a bit late, aren't you? It's no good waving, you're a bit late. Oh, you've been to the toilet. Anyway, like I said, I come from a poor family. Who remembers Tim Baths? Yeah, we had a paper one. And my mother used to shop for me school clothes at a place called the world famous Army and Navy Stores. Right? Now, that's not so bad, but you try going to school dressed as a sniper. It was like a tree walking. Anyway, they're doing all right. So anyway, what was I saying now? Oh, yeah, tell me about my life. We're for all of them. It's swim with a rack. Anyway, sorry? It's one of them places, like, you know, when, like in the restaurant, Oldham's like this. It's like you go to France and you see them restaurants with all the tables outside and all that. In Oldham, that's called an eviction. Richard, you can laugh, mate. You don't get any better than this. Anyway, where am I? Anyway, I come from that area, ladies and gentlemen. I've been in show business all my life. From 8-year-old, I was in show business, and I was bringing more money in than my father at 8-year-old, because I used to do the working men's clubs. And my father was a very, very flat-capped... he said to my mother, he wanted a boy. Don't even go there. Don't even go there. He said to my mother, you'll keep having children till I have a lad. Smoking his pipe. Want to be a footballer. Anyway, he had me, and I started doing the club singing. And he said to my mother, I hope you've not bred one of them funny fellas. And I was bringing more money in than him, right? So I did that all my life. And then when I got to be 15, I left school, and I'll tell you what, it was really difficult for me, because at school, everybody had school uniforms. We couldn't afford one. I had nothing, ladies and gentlemen. We used to have alphabet soup with one letter in it. Now, that's not good, is it? Eh? Are you enjoying this, sir? Eh? Why have you got braces on? Oh, his pants fall down, yeah. Anyway, I was a premature baby, ladies and gentlemen. My dad weren't expecting me. And I'm tickling myself here. How am I doing, Yvonne? All right? Is it up? Oh, get off. Okay, love, right. You know, and the sad thing about myself, ladies and gentlemen, I'm trying to tell you about my life before I get into it, but you're such a lovely crowd. And isn't this a fantastic church? Yes. And let me tell you, because I go to a lot of places, and you go to some churches, and the people are holier than thou, never admit the sinners like this. God give us laughter. It's one of the biggest gifts we can have. God give us laughter. And it's fantastic. Listen, it's only through his kindness that we are forgiven. How joyful. And I'll tell you something else. If you're a Christian and you don't like me, get used to me, because I'm with you forever. And I'll find you. It's fantastic. Anyway, where were I? Oh, yeah, that's it. When I was not only poor, I don't know why this is, I've turned into something quite beautiful, but when I was a kid, ladies and gentlemen, I was a very ugly baby. I was that ugly, they put me in an incubator with tinted windows. It's bringing back memories here. And when I shouldn't tell like this in a church, but I've got to be honest, I'm an honest man. But when I came out, the midwife slapped the wrong end. It was such a shock. I get on to about going, oh, I can't believe that. It's true that. I'm just reminding myself, because they couldn't do anything with me, my mum and dad, because I was an ugly kid, right? And the circus came to the Oldham, and they entered me in an ugly baby contest. And they said, no professionals. So, what are you shaking your head for, Denny? Anyway, there was oh, that's it, yeah. So, I did all the clubs and all that as a kid to take your own. I packed it in when I got to be 15, because show business I thought was for sissies. And nobody did it. I can't believe it's a baby heckling me here. I've been heckled by everybody, but the baby's looking at me going, Beautiful. So anyway, just let me tell you this. So this truck driver went in a place and he sees a fella just sat at his table. And he said, all right. And he picked his drink up and he drank it. And this bloke started crying, breaking his heart. Truck driver said, what's up? He said, I'm only having a laugh with you. I'll buy you. He said, you don't understand. He said, what? He said, I've lost my wife. He said, I've lost my house. I've lost my job. Nothing's going right for me. He said, I come in here and you go and drink my poison. So anyway, you know, I'll be telling jokes all. I've written them all down. It's amazing. I didn't know I had these. Anyway. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Do you remember him? The great Stanley Matthews? Yeah. Who remembers him? Come on. Well, I've got somebody here because he was well known. At first, Georgie Best stood and they were paying the respects and saying Sir Stanley was the greatest player of all time. Then Kevin Keegan stood up and said Sir Stanley was the greatest of all time. Then Bobby Charlton was amazing. He said he's amazing, best player. Finally, David Beckham stood up and said, I didn't know Sir Stanley personally, but I think his turkey drummers are brilliant. Are we in church? Is it supposed to be a church thing? Because I'm really having a good time. I'll get on to, anyway. So that was it. So I became a welder, right? And that's where I met Tommy. I was a welder. He was a fitter welder, right? Now, I've got to tell you something. This is true. I believe everybody can do whatever they want in life if they're prepared to go for it. And I mean that. And if you're a Christian, and I mean this too, if you're a Christian in here and you come to church and you praise the Lord, there's more to it than that. you should pray to God and say, right, God, now I know you. What do you want to do for me? You'll be amazed what happens in your life. I never thought I would have been here speaking about the Lord, particularly in Southport. That's a big draw for me, but I'm here. But it's true, this. What I'm saying, it's true. So I became a welder. Tommy was a fitter welder. He used to run a lot. And he would always... So you don't seem to be enjoying this. I'm not being funny. Will you check his pulse? I think he's dead. If you don't like it, get out. I'm honest, me, I don't mess. So anyway, one day, and Tommy was dead cheeky, right? He thought he knew everything, Tommy, when I first met him. And he came to work with steel toe cap boots on. Now, I've got to tell you, if you're a welder, you don't wear steel toe cap boots because you get shocks. And it were on trailers, and he was welding above me. And when you do that, you can't see a thing, right? We're on piecework, so I thought, I'll have him now. So he's welding like that. I welded his steel toe caps to the job. Right? He's never forgot it. When it took him an hour to chip them off, so he lost an hour's work. Anyway, so I said to Tommy, hey, and I was singing in pubs at weekend. They all had to work overtime. I didn't because I sang in the pubs, you know what I mean? And I said to him, get a kit of drums and I'll teach you to drum. And this is how we started. He said, okay. 2 days later, he came in, he said, I've got a kit of drums. I said, how have you got them? He said, I got them on tick. For the young people, that's the Never Never HP. And he got them on the HP. So I taught him to drum, Tommy. And we got a pianist friend of mine, and this is how Cannonball started. We started off called the Stanmore's Trio, and we used to do weddings. So we started off as a trio. I would have expected just a little bit more reaction, like a no, Bobby, but it's true. Anyway, we sacked the pianist, and we went on our own, got rid of the drums because he was rubbish, and we became a double act. Working, singing, doing all the clubs around Yorkshire and all that. And then we realised that the comedians got £3 more than the singers. You know, don't you? So I said, we'll put a couple of gags in, Tom, so we're comedians. He said, all right. The first 3 nights we went out, we got paid off. Which means the concert set comes up and says, get out the club, you're rubbish. I can't look at you anymore. You're throwing me. You are throwing me. You will not be coming to my house for Christmas. I promise you that. So we became a comedy double act. Now, I'll tell you something. There's a difference between comics and comedians. Did you know that? Did you know that? Am I facing it right way? Right. A comedian tells funny stories. A comic is a funny man, right? Bob Monkhouse was a comedian. Tommy Cooper was a comic. Do you get what I mean? So that's what we became. We became the double acts and all that. So we got paid off a minute, but we slowly started to learn our craft. And we went professional. And I was married before Yvonne. We've been together 46 years, and I was married before her. So how old does that make me? What do you say, love? I said, a woman looked at me, I said, what do you mean? She went, old. I am old, you're right. And this is another thing that does my head in. Why have you got jeans on that need sewing up? I don't get it, me. I just don't get it. They go, look how modern I am. They've got ripped jeans on, their knees are hanging out. And could you keep your head still? The light's bouncing off your head, it's going in my eyes. Anyway, where we're at? Oh, yeah. Do you know something? We've been together like 46 years, but let me tell you, you know when you come home and your wife meets you and your tea's on the table and they love you and give you love and all that when you come home. You know what that means? You're in the wrong house. Have you thought of that? Just kidding. Could you open it, Denny? Oh, thank you. See you, lads. No gin in that. You see, the reason we've been married so long because me and Yvonne compromise. Get me? In a relationship, we have to compromise. And it's brilliant. I remember I wanted a new car. You can't afford everything, but I wanted a new car. And I told her, I want a new car. He said, Bob, I want a nice leather suite and 3-piece leather and all that. I said, okay, so we compromised. And she got the leather suite. But we keep it in the garage. You see what I mean? Exactly. So anyway, that was it. So we did all that, and we did all the working men's clubs. And then we started doing cabaret clubs. Did you have anything, cabaret clubs in Southport? Yes. Eh? Yes. What were it called? I bet I've done that, you know. Yeah. Eh? Starlight. We've done the Starlight Room. Yeah. So we started doing these nightclubs, and they were fantastic. We did Burnham Manning's Club in Manchester. He used to call me and Tommy the only double act with 2 straight men. And when you see Burnham Manning, everybody says, oh, I don't like. He's not half as bad as you think. Burnham Manning gives more to charity than you, and nobody ever knows, because he doesn't tell anybody, but he does. So when you see him, he's got a dirty mouth, but he gives his heart's right. I'm telling you, he's a nice fella. So anyway, we did all these places, and then we gets to be we did Op Knox. Remember Opportunity Knox? Yeah. We came last. I'm not kidding. We got all our work cancelled, right? And we'll call the Harper Brothers. Said we need to change our name from the Harper Brothers, because my name's not Bobby Ball. It's actually Robert Harper. I'll let that sink in. I think your brother's over there. So anyway, no, give him a round of applause. He's took some stick off me tonight. So I said, we need a new name, Tommy. This was the first time it happened, and we're going on Op Knox. And I said, and I've always liked to sing it. Now, if you're old like me, you'll remember this fella. So buck up, lady, now. Freddie Cannon. You remember him? What was one of his songs? Oh, well, you didn't know him then, did you? It was way down yonder in New Orleans, did that. So I said to Tommy, it's a very strong name, so we'll call you Tommy Cannon. He said, what can go with Tommy Cannon? I said, well, I'm short, call it Cannon and Short. He said, no, Ball. We'll call it, I said, I'm not being called Bobby Ball. Can you imagine what all comics are going to be saying? Forget it. He said, no, Bob, we'll just do Op Knox, we'll change it after. I said, all right. So we became Cannon and Ball to go on Op Knox, right? And that's where it stuck. And I used to come then, I said, I'll come from the audience to get your autograph, and then I'll heckle you, you'll get me on stage, and that's how the double act will start, the comedy. He said, fine. So we did Batley Variety Club, right? Tommy goes on, starts singing. I come from the back of the room, and I come down the front and say, hey, you're very good, you're right, Sonny Felton. Arm on my shoulder, it was bouncer. He thought I was wrestling, he threw me out. True story, that. Thought I was wrestling, I kept saying, no, I'm part of act, I'm part of act. So he let me go, and we did very well there. And it's very difficult with that sun on that lake. But I'm not being, diva, but... Anyway, I can't read my notes. So we did that. What's that? Hang on. I can't. Oh, yeah. So me and Yvonne have been married 46 years. We've got 3 kids. 3 kids, 2 boys and a girl. How many grandkids, Yvonne? 9 grandkids. They're fantastic. I'd sooner have grandkids than kids. No, they're fantastic. I'll just let me tell you this, what one of them said to me. Where's it gone, that now? Sorry about this, but it's that long since I did this. He said, Grandad, our Joel it was, he was running a little toy. He said, Grandad, did God make you? I said, yes, son, he did. He said, did he make me? I said, yes, son, he did. He said, he's doing better now, isn't he? Can you believe that? So that's my family. And my daughter, my two sons are a comedy double act. I never see them. They all going all over the world all the time performing, but they're a good comedy double act. And my daughter leads the worship. She's a dog groomer, but she leads the worship in our church. So my daughter's a Christian, but my two sons aren't now. So if you're a Christian, please pray for my children, will you? My two boys, thank you. So we did that for many years, me and Tommy, doing the clubs, and then we started doing theatres. And the first theatre we did was with Killer Black at Liverpool Empire. And she was fantastic. I mean, we'd never done a theatre before. And we're in pantomime, and she looked after us like you can't believe. She was a wonderful, wonderful... Have some control over your kids, madam. In the old days, we called it give them a clout. Anyway, I'm only joking. So anyway, we did all that, and then we started doing theatres, and we went up and up doing these theatres, and we first on. And in them days, ladies and gentlemen, I'm not mourning, well, I am mourning, really. It's changed show business now, because you used to learn your craft. You go on first, then you get second bill, third, but did it until you got to top at bill. Today, it's all reality shows. So if you wanted to go, they can't entertain people. Do you know what I'm saying? And I see young comedians coming through. My days are finished, but you see young comedians coming through, and I know they're not going to get a break. It's sad, isn't it? Anyway, so we did that, and then we did Bruce Forsyth had a programme called Bruce Forsyth's Big Night Out. Does anybody remember that? It were on for 3 hours, do you know that? And they give me and Tommy a 3-minute sketch every Saturday night on this Bruce Forsyth Big Night Out. We were rehearsing it, and the head of London Weekend, a fellow called David Bell, came in, and he said, give them their own series. And it's simple as that. And they give us our own series on a Saturday night, and we used to go on, and at the end we used to pull 20 million viewers, me and Tommy. And it were all Rock on Tommy and all this, and we've had a great, an absolute fantastic career. You know, it's been brilliant. So we did that, and we're on telly for about 14, 15 years, something like that. And then Variety now has gone, so we do other things. Are you with me? But that was my life. Anyway, in them days, you think about it, I'm a simple lad from Oldham, well, just outside Shaw, right? Simple lad who had a great career, but it went to my head. I became stupid and mental. I've been with Yvonne 46 years. Now, when you're on television and you have this personality thing, suddenly I started to drink very heavily, and I ended up drinking in the 80s, which none of you know. I ended up drinking a bottle and a half of whiskey a day. Every day. 7 days a week. Bottle and a half of whiskey. And then I started to commit adultery against Yvonne. Not a little bit, lads. A lot of adultery. And I was away from home for 48 weeks and never went to bed alone. I didn't know that when we do things wrong, it sticks with us. You understand me? There's only one person who can clean and rub you down. That's God. I didn't know that at that time. For me, it was normality. Everybody were doing it. And that's what I did. That's what I did. And I'm living this life. Plenty of money, always on the road, away from home for 48 weeks a year. All the time. Then one day I goes to Bradford, the Bradford Alhambra, and in them days, you may not know this, but a vicar, a rabbi, and a priest, they used to have to come to the theatre to see if you wanted prayers. for travelling companies. Are you with me? And suddenly I'm in my dressing room, I knock on the door, I said, come in, and a vicar walked in, a fella called Max Wigley, right? He sat down, I said, how are you? He said, I'm fine. I said, take your collar off because you know better than me. Don't make yourself try to look important because you've got a collar on and you're a holy man. I ain't got a clue. I'm from Romanist stock, so we'd never been to church ever, right? He took his collar off and put it in his pocket. I said, right, talked with him, a nice fella, really liked him. I said, I'm going out tonight, if you don't mind me saying it. He said, can I come with you? I said, no, I'm pulling. He said, well, that's your business. He said, but I'd like to come and have a drink with you. That kid's doing my head and keeps staring at me. I said, no, but lady, I'm working here, and the kid's looking at me going like that. He's trying to get up his knee now to get out, look. Anyway. So Max, he said, I said, okay, so I went for a drink with him. Do you know, lady, man? He wasn't judgmental, like a lot of Christians are. He wasn't judgmental or nothing. He was just nice to be with. And the night ended, he'd gone. And when he'd gone, I started thinking about him. We had a lot of money. I didn't have what this simple vicar had. He had peace. He knew where he was going. He knew. I didn't. He knew. So I phoned him up. I said, can I come and see you, Max? Why? I said, I don't know. I want to talk with you. I don't know. I just want to say hello to you. I knew I had to see him for some reason. So he said, yeah. So I went down to his house. Yvonne said, where are you going? I said, I'm going to see the vicar. She went, what? I said, I don't know why, but I'm going. So I went. When I got in, he said, what's up, Bob? I said, I'll tell you what's wrong, Max. There's nothing wrong. I said, I want what you've got. I want what you've got. He said, it's called the Holy Spirit. I said, I don't even know what that is, but I want your peace. He said, let's pray. I said, I never prayed in my life, ever. He said, well, okay, I will say the words, you repeat them after me, but don't talk to me or yourself. If you're speaking to God, speak to God. I said, okay. So he started to pray. Ladies and gentlemen, I got 3 lines into that prayer, and I cried like a child, like a baby. I wept like you can't believe. Because you know why? Suddenly, I felt a warmth come through my body, and I knew it was God, and I knew I was forgiven. For everything I'd done, I was forgiven, and I knew God was real, very real. I'm not a clown. I'm not an idiot. I knew it was very, very real. In my younger days, ladies and gentlemen, I used to fight, get drunk, go with women, the lot. I knew I was forgiven for all that. I knew it. Get me? Do I still, I don't do all that, but sometimes I make mistakes, but we're human. And I go to God right away and say, forgive me, God, I shouldn't have done that. I'm serious, man. Tonight, it's a life-changing thing. It's absolutely life-changing. Mine got changed in a fella's front room, a vicar. Unbelievable. Anyway, listen to this. So I'm crying, tears of joy. I can't believe it. Suddenly, at my age, I know God's very real. This lad said to me to the night, I've got a right warm feeling. She's not been a Christian long. I said, that's the Holy Spirit, Denny. And she was beaming. And I'm crying, tears of joy. And I went home to my missus, the long-suffering wife. And I walked in, she says, why are you crying? I said, I've found Jesus. She said, has he been lost? So I threw her out. Anyway, no, I didn't. So I explained what had happened. I said, I don't know what it is, but he's real. He's absolutely real. Hallelujah. She said, wow. I said, I have someone else to tell you. Lads, get this. I said, I have someone else to tell you. She said, what? I said, I've been with a lot of other women while I've been married to you. With no fear. I said that with no fear. The reason I said it to her is because I had God's forgiveness. I had to have hers. Do you know what I mean? I had to have her forgiveness. You know what she said? I knew you'd come home one day. I still say to this day, she couldn't have said that if God hadn't been in there. She couldn't have done it. I said, do you forgive me? She said, yes. Yes. I was so free. I can't tell you. It was brilliant. I found God. 3 months later, she gave her life to God. Yeah? Absolutely, my life has been up. What was that story one about? That's it. All them people. I know it. Yeah, because what happened, ladies and gentlemen, with this? My life changed talking. I started thinking about Jesus and God. Now, don't take me wrong when I say this. Please don't take me wrong. But if you talk to someone that's not a Christian, they think it's soft. And they think it's, oh, you're a Christian, oh, do-gooder. They don't realise. They don't have a clue. To be a Christian is the best thing that could ever happen in your life. It's fantastic. I'm living forever. Either that or God's telling lies, and God doesn't tell lies. It's true though, isn't it? It's fantastic. Are you a Christian? I've got him for eternity. No. True. I call it God's journey. What do I call it, one? Hey? God's journey. This is a story that I wrote. Listen to this. This is a story that I wrote. I like this. So, this fella thinks I'm going to go and I need to find a church or something, right? And he goes on the street and it's all these shops. What, love? That's it. There's all these travel agents. And he sees them all. They're all empty except one. And the place is called God's Journey. And it's packed. And everybody's trying to get into it. Everybody's trying to get into it in the end days. It's packed. So he thinks I'm going in there. So he goes in there. He says, what's it like? Where is this place? The bloke behind the counter said, it's called heaven. He said, what's it like? He said, it's unbelievable. He said, it's fantastic. He said, how much is it to go? He said, it's free. He said, what? He said, it's free. Just recognise the owner of the hotel, that's all. He said, it's brilliant. He said, well, I want to go. I really want to go. He said, well, here, have you got your passport? He said, yeah, give me your passport, I'll stamp it. Stamp the passport. He said, take that. And he gave him this book called the Bible. Believer's Instructions Before Leaving Earth. That's what that is. Believer's Instructions Before Leaving Earth. And he read it from back to front. And he realised he were in that. And he went back to this fella and he said, I want to go to heaven. He said, give me a passport. He stamped his passport and he gave it to him. He said, when do I go? He said, God will let you know. But there's a seat booked for you. You're going to heaven. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to tell you something now. I've had my passport stamped. Have you had yours? Think about it. Have you had yours? If you haven't, and I mean this, if you haven't had it stamped, get it stamped tonight. It won't change. Don't think it's going to I don't want to be holier than thou. You won't be. You'll be what God made you. He made you because he loves you. It's not God that sins, it's us. But he makes you because he loves you. That's how he's made us. If you're a Christian in here, and you just come to church every Sunday, start praying to him. Get your passport stamped again. Because God wants us to do things for him. Does this make sense? Folks, I'll get on my soapbox. If we're proper Christians in here, we could turn this country around. And we don't. I'm serious, man. Just come to God and say, I'm here, God. What do you want of me? And I will do it. I mean it. How long have I done, love? 35. That's killed me, I'll tell you that. Anyway. But do you get my point, what I'm saying? Do you like it? Yes. Now, do it now before you get too old. Right? Where's she gone? Do it now before you get too old. You're never too old, love. You've gone, Von, she's in. All right. You're never too old, lady and gentlemen, to start. I shouldn't say this. You know what kids is the proper... Well, he's got his earphones on. Because you know you're old when you can do without sex but not your glasses. That's how you know. And your children start to look middle-aged. In fact, this is me, this. When you're old, you look forward to a dull evening. I'm right, Anna. What are we doing tonight, you watching, Corey? And that's a terrible thing, though. It's happened to me because I'm old. And when people ring you at 9 o'clock and say, did I wake you? I'm killing myself. Anyway. Oh, I don't know what to talk to you about now. Should I? Who said that? I'll tell you how old I am. Right, look at me. 42. What do you mean? I'm 75. And Tommy's 82. Yeah? Been together 56 years. Any more questions, anybody? Sorry? I'm not bothered about that. I said any questions. You want to... Got one here, the braces, man.
What did Tommy say when you became a Christian?
What did Tommy say when I became a Christian? I said to Tommy, I went in and said, I have something to tell you, Tommy. He said, what is it? I said, I didn't, at first, you know, I never said I became a Christian because I didn't understand it. I was very, very new. So I just said, I found God. That's what I used to say. And then I learned later, he said, I've become a Christian. So I said to him, I found God. He said, what? I said, I found God. He said, you've lost it, you. You are crackers. And then what he saw the Holy Spirit within me. And he was drawn to it. Right? And I said, I'm going to this church speaking. He said, I'll come with you. And I spoke at the end, I asked him to put the hand up, and his hand went up. That's what happened. So he knew about it, you know. So, any more questions?
Did you have to change your act?
You what, love? I don't want to sing a song yet. I'm enjoying myself, love. What?
Did you have to change your act when you became a Christian?
No, because we were never blue, if you like. In fact, this is amazing, this. We used to do all the stag shows around Manchester, and we got more stag show bookings than anybody else because we were clean. Because all the lads used to go and watch the strippers and all the blue acts, and when they watch it for a couple of hours, think, oh, I'm a bit bored with this now. Then we come on, it was like, oh, that's good. So we were never blue. No, we were fine with that. But I don't think I could really, because if my kids went and saw it, you know, and all that, I'd feel a bit so naff off now. Anyway, joking. Anybody else?
Did you enjoy the last of the small line?
Put your hand up. What you say? Put your hand up. No, put your hand up proper. Come on. What do you say?
Did you enjoy doing the last of the small line?
I loved it. Absolutely loved it, and I don't know why they stopped it. They should never have stopped that. It was, every one of them were lovely to get on with. All of them. It was absolutely lovely to get on with. Yeah, I enjoyed it very, very much. Yeah. Anyway, just let me get back to this a minute. Oh, yeah. Can I tell them about your water retention, Yvonne? No, don't laugh, ladies and gentlemen. Please, ladies and gentlemen, please do not laugh. She's got a bit of water retention, but she's gone on a diet. For her tea, she's had 3 chickens and a chocolate gateau. Look at Dennis, he's like, ah, you can't say that. It's a joke, Denny. I won't mention yours in a minute. Anyway, So that's my story, ladies and gentlemen, of meeting Jesus. And I really have to tell you, if you don't know him, get to know him. Because it's absolutely fantastic. And it doesn't make you holier than thou. It doesn't make you any of that. And take your feet off the chairs, you're a pastor. And being a Christian, and I'm telling you, listen, I know there is a God. You say, how do you know there's a God? Because I feel him. Do you get what I mean? I feel him. And I'll guarantee you something else, which you'll not believe, but it's true. If I ask God for something, one way or another, it shows up. Maybe not the way I want, but it will be the right way. Does that make sense? Get me? I'm still asking him for Yvonne to leave me, but that's not worked yet. But in time. Sit down, Yvonne. So I'm telling you, ladies and gentlemen, we have a wonderful God. I'm going to sing a song in a minute that I wrote when I first became a Christian. I wrote to praise God. So I'm going to sing this song, and while I'm singing it, I want you to secretly pray to God on your own, in your mind, for whatever you want, for whatever you want to do. Talk to him in yourself, because that's what he's there. He's there. I wish I could get it over to people how much he loves us, and he does. His only son died on a cross, and everybody think, oh, well, you know, listen, let me tell you, he had a big bolt put through his feet and through his wrist, not his hands, his wrist. Think of the pain for us. Not then, now. For us, now. It's amazing. I'm going to sing this song for the Lord. Thank you. Hope I remember it. Bit more volume. I want to thank you, Lord, for being here with me, for all the things that you do. I'm in love with you. I want to thank you, Lord, for each new day with you, for making me brand new. I'm in love with you. I want to thank you, Lord. You kissed away my rain. You took away all my pain. You died on a cross for me. And all the pain you went through, I can never make it up to you. For all the things that you do, I want to thank you, my Lord. Ladies and gentlemen, just thank him now. Thank him for the bad things that's happening, because he'll sort them. Thank him for everything. What a wonderful God, ladies and gentlemen. Just praise him. Oh, what a wonderful God. I want to thank you, my Lord. He's kissed away our rain. He's took away all our pain. He died on a cross for me and you and you and you. and all the pain you went through. I can never, 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 I can never make it up to you for all the things that you do. I want to thank you, my Lord. Thank you, my Lord. Give the applause to him. Give it to him. Give it to him. The applause to him. Now, what I want to do, ladies and gentlemen, just to finish off, I just want to say a little prayer. I want us all to bow our heads. Repeat this prayer after me, but don't speak to me. Speak to God, ladies and gentlemen. Speak to God. Let's just close our eyes and speak to him. You play a bit of background music, please. Dear Father, I give you all the glory. I come to you tonight, Father, as a sinner, and I ask you to forgive me. I also come to somebody that knows you. I ask you, Father, show me what you want me to do with my life, because I want to give it all to you. I do love you, Father. You're my God. Bless me right now, Father. Right now, bless me. You say, ask and we'll receive. I'm asking for your blessing, Lord, tonight. That when I go out of here tonight, I'm closer to you. And I know you. I'm asking all this in your wonderful name, Jesus Christ. Amen. Folks, keep your head bowed and bowed. If you've said that prayer and you felt anything at all, just lift your hand up and then we're going to pray with you. So don't think you'll be embarrassed. Just lift your hand up if you want someone to pray with you. Just keep your heads bowed, ladies and gentlemen, and think about it. We'll pray with you later. We'll sort it out. Don't let the moment go far, people, because we don't know how long we're going to be here. So don't let the moment go. Fill now. Fill yourself right now. Don't let it go. Okay. Folks, look at me now. Have you enjoyed tonight? I'll ask again, then you can have a bit more enthusiasm. Have you enjoyed tonight? Yes. Well, I've had an absolute wonderful night. Thank you very much for coming. That's me done. Are you crying? Come here. Come here. Come here. I want you. Come here. God loves you. Nice of it. You know that, don't you? So thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for listening to me. And I hope I haven't bored you, but that's it. Thank you.
It's been absolutely fantastic, hasn't it, to hear Bobby share his story. I just want to pick up on just what he did over those last few moments. I'm sure there's some people here tonight and you don't know Jesus, you don't know him, but you're searching, like we sang in that song before, and we're going to sing that one again, just right at the very end now, about God being a good, good Father, that just as he was praying that prayer, that you felt something beating, like your heart, it's almost like it was beating out of your chest. But for whatever reason, you didn't put your hand up. Please don't leave here tonight without speaking to someone, whether it's the person that brought you, maybe invited you, if you've come on your own. Come and have a chat with us, come and have a chat with Bobby. We would love to be able to just pray with you, and you could walk out of here knowing that hope within your heart that Bobby's been talking about tonight. So I urge you, don't leave here without speaking to someone first of all. On your chair as you came in, you'll have seen one of these little cards. It says explore more. It's got the Alpha sign, and then on the back it just says I'd like to attend the next Alpha course starting next Sunday night. We would love you to come along and journey with us on Alpha. It's going to be taking place over the next 11 Sunday nights. You might think that's a bit of a big commitment, but there's nothing on the telly, trust me. I've already checked. And with Sky Plus and all that these days, you can press record anyway. Could be the most important couple of hours. Bobby's not on yet. No, I hope he's not anyway. But you can have a check on but you can record it anyway. But we would love you to come on Alpha with us. Alpha is that opportunity to come and ask the really big questions of life. We've all got questions. I've got 4 kids. They're always asking us questions. But, just because we get older doesn't mean the questions stop getting asked. It's just that they're different questions. And one of the most important questions that we never spend the time to ask is, what is life all about? What happens when I die? How did I get here? And Alpha is just the perfect opportunity for you to come and ask those questions, like Ping said, without being judged, without being made to feel small or silly if you get a different answer to the one that you believe at that moment. But please can I encourage you to really, really consider coming on Alpha that starts next week. You get a lovely meal beforehand. You'll meet some great people. And who knows, it could be the start of the beginning of the rest of your life. Because Jesus said, I've come so that you can have life and life in all its fullness. A lot of people think that you become a Christian and then your life becomes boring. You're going to wear white socks and sandals. And you're going to have patches on the elbows of your jacket. Oh, I shouldn't say that because Bobby's got them on his. He hasn't got white socks and sandals on though, so we'll let him off. But it really is, like Bobby said, it just takes your life to a whole new level. And we'd love to journey through that with you. So please consider filling that in. If you don't want to fill it in tonight, consider it through the week, hand it to us, contact us. There's our details on there. You can get through to us on the website, you can contact us. But maybe tonight you're going to make that decision. There's a voice that's telling you, no, you don't want to do that. But we want to say to you, consider it. Think about coming on Alpha, journeying through that with us. And who knows where it could lead. I hope you've enjoyed being here with us tonight. We are going to finish with one song. It's that one that we sang right at the start about God being a good, good father. And if you wouldn't mind just standing with us again for this, and then we're going to finish, and then you're free to go. As I said before, there's Bobby's merchandise over there. Please go and have a look at that. If you buy some of that, Bobby will sign it. I got my selfie with him before in my office beforehand. I'm sure he'd love to stand here and just have a photo with you as well if you've got your phone with you. But why don't you stand? And we're going to sing this song by way of conclusion, and then you're free to go.
Tender whisper of love in the dead of night, and you tell me that you're pleased and that I'm never alone. You're a good, good father. It's who you are. It's who you are. It's who you are. And I'm loved by you. It's who I am. It's who I am. It's who I am. Oh, and I've seen many searching for answers far and wide, but I know we're all searching for answers. Only you provide, 'cause you know just what we need before we say a word. 'Cause you're a good, good father. It's who you are.
Just two things as we close. First of all, can we just show our appreciation again to Bobby? Let's give him a big round of applause. Thank him for coming and sharing the story with us. Would you just allow me to pray for you just as we finish our time here? Is that okay? Talk to me, it's not the telly. Yeah? Okay. Father, we thank you that you are a good, good Father. And Lord, no matter what our beliefs might be towards you right now, we pray, Lord, that we would each leave here just feeling warm to you. And that, God, we would just know that message that we've heard tonight and that we've sang about, that we are loved by you. Let us take that. Father, would you cement that deep into our hearts? That you're not mad at us, but you're mad about us. And that you love us with an everlasting love. And we ask it in the name of Jesus. Amen. Amen. God bless you. Have a great week. And we hope to see you on Alpha. God bless you.
You were the Word at the beginning, one with God the Lord Most High. Your hidden glory in creation, now revealed in you, our Christ. What a beautiful name it is. What a beautiful name it is. The name of Jesus Christ, my King. What a beautiful name it is. Nothing compares to this. What a beautiful name it is. The name of Jesus.